Hello everyone, welcome to all of you in the lecture series on chemical kinetics. Myself, Dr. Venkatesh Gopula, working as assistant professor in chemistry department at ARSS College, Vaibhavadi, which is affiliated to University of Mumbai. Students, we are at the middle of this lecture series on chemical kinetics. We have completed first and second order reactions and their integrated rate equations. Also, we have seen their kinetic characteristics. If we particularly talk about second order reactions, in which we have studied only uh, with equal initial concentrations of reactants. At the beginning of this lecture series, we have also studied the rate constant, order, and molecularity of a reaction. Students, in this lecture number 4 on chemical kinetics, we are going to focus on the pseudo first order reactions and methods of determination of order of reaction, in which we are going to study today the graphical method and integration method. Without wasting any more time, let's start the today's lecture. Before starting the lecture, I request you to subscribe this channel if you are first time to my channel. Pseudo first order reaction. The pseudo first order or pseudo unimolecular are generally the bimolecular reactions, okay, which follow the first order reaction. That means actual in reaction there are two molecules are there which are taking part in the reaction to give the product, but their order is depend only upon the one reactant. So such a reactions are called as a pseudo unimolecular or pseudo first order reactions. Okay, the reaction which is not the first order naturally, okay, but made first order by increasing or decreasing the one of the reactant, okay, in the reaction is known as a pseudo first order reaction. Okay, here the meaning of pseudo is nothing but the fake, or you can say the false. Okay, that's why because here if you see the two molecules are taking part in the reaction, but their order is depends upon only one. That's why the fake first order reaction or false first order reaction, or you can say the pseudo first order reaction. So here we have taken one example, that is acid hydrolysis of methyl acetate, okay, or ester. Now here two molecules are taking part in the reaction, that is a water molecule as well as a methyl ester, that is a methyl acetate, okay, right, to give the product as acetic acid and methanol as a side product. But here if you see there are two molecules are there, okay, water and this is ester, okay, so that's why the molecularity of the reaction is a 2. But if you consider this reaction, okay, the water which are used here, they are in very excess, okay, that is the more amount of water is used, okay, uh, as compared to this methyl acetate. That's why this concentration of this water molecule remain same throughout the entire reaction. That's why the order of this reaction is 1. Now here if you apply the law of mass action to this reaction, okay, we will get such type of reaction equation, sorry, rate equal to K into molar concentration of ester and molar concentration of water molecule. Okay, from here you can say the order will be 2, but it is not that case, okay, because the concentration of the water molecule remains same throughout the reaction. That's why it's a concentration remain constant. Okay, so this K can be replaced by the K dash. Okay, this K dash is nothing but the product of K and its concentration of the water molecule. Okay, so the finally we get such type of equation where rate gives the K dash equal to K dash into molar concentration of the ester. Now here if you see the order of this one is this is the order of this one, in this case is only 1, okay, because the power on the molar concentration is 1, okay, that's why the order is 1. So such type of reactions are called as pseudo first order reaction. Okay, the molecularity is 2, but order of that reaction is 1. Now we are going to see the how the first order is calculated in a pseudo first order reactions by taking a few examples. Now here we have taken the one acid hydrolysis of methyl acetate, okay, as we seen earlier. Now here the reaction is carried out such type of a flask. Okay, right. Now in the first lecture, okay, on in this lecture series we have seen that the measurement of reaction rates. Okay, so in that we have seen the two methods are there, chemical method as well as a physical method. Though the physical chemical method is nothing but the volumetric method. Okay, so here also for finding or recording or measure the rate of the or order of the reaction, the volumetric analysis is used. Okay, now here the at regular time interval the small amount or small volume of or known volume of reaction is taken or withdrawn from this reaction. Okay, and they are titrated against a known concentration of a standard solution. Okay, so here in this case or in this reaction, the product is acid. Okay, so we have to titrate it against the base. Okay, at the end of the titration we will get some end point. Okay, from that we can calculate the concentration of the produced acid. Okay, but here the example we have taken, that is this reaction is carried out in presence of catalyst, that is acid. Okay, so at the beginning of a reaction the small amount of acid is present in the reaction. Okay, that's why the whatever the endpoint is obtained or titrating reading, that will be denoted as a T0. Okay, because due to only the presence of HCl which is present in the reaction. Okay, after some time T, okay, the which will be due to the presence of the titrating reading must be due to the acetic acid present as a catalyst in the HCl is present as catalyst in the reaction mixture. Also the acetic acid which is produced after some time T, that is because of these two the reading will be TT. Okay, so at time T, so this is a these are the titrating readings at time T0 and at time T. So from this we can say the small x will be the amount of ester hydrolyzer at time T, which can be given as a like this, the x equal to Tt minus T0. Okay, now the reaction will be completed at some point. Okay, at some point time, that time is denoted by T infinity. Okay, and at that time the whatever the reading is taken or titrated reading, that will be recorded as a T infinity. At a at small t infinity, that is the time, and capital T infinity is a titrating reading. Okay, now let small a will be the total amount of ester hydrolyzer. Okay, which is given by small a equal to capital T infinity minus capital T0. Okay, so this is the amount of ester hydrolyzer. Okay, but we have the two values, that is x and a. Okay, so a minus x is given as like this. Okay, the T capital T infinity minus capital T small t. Okay, so here if you put the value of a and x, we will get this one. Okay, so from here T0 will be get cancel, or minus into minus get. Okay, so this is the value of a minus x. Now we know the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction. Okay, that is k equal to 2.03 upon t into log a upon a minus x. Now just put the value of a and a minus x in this equation. Okay, that's we already have the values. Okay, so finally we get the k equal to 2.303 upon t into log of capital T infinity minus capital T0 upon capital T infinity upon capital TT. Okay, so this is the way to calculate the order of reaction, the rate constant of a pseudo first order reaction by volumetric method. So in this case, at a regular time interval we have to titrate the reaction mixture by taking the known volume. Okay, and titrate against the alkali solution. So this is nothing but the acid base titration. Okay, so now let's see the next example. The next example is we have taken, that is a acid catalyzed inversion of a cane sugar, that is sucrose. Now here the sucrose is nothing but the dextrorotatory. That means the if you pass the plain polarized light, okay, in the solution of a sucrose, the light is the ppl light is rotated to the right hand side, that is a dextrorotatory, while the mixture of fructose and glucose, okay, if the ppl light is passed through this mixture, okay, then ppl light is rotated to the left hand side, that is a levorotatory. So from this we can calculate the inversion of a cane sugar, okay, or you can say the completion of this reaction. Okay, now here in this case the acid catalyzer gives the acid catalyzer of sucrose gives the fructose and glucose. Okay, now the rate of inversion is determined by recording the angle of rotation. Okay, the angle of rotation of a plane polarized light in the instrument, that is a polarimeter. Okay, now this angle of rotation, that is alpha, is recorded at a regular time interval. Now here we have taken image. Okay, from that we can understand the how it works. Now in the first case or first image, if you see, the ordinary light is passed through the polarizing prism, okay, from which the plane polarizer is only one plane light is given passed through that prism. Okay, now when such a light is passed through the empty solution or without any substance solution, okay, the plane will be same as it is, okay, without any distraction or without any rotation of the angle. Okay, so we will get such a type of plane polarized light without a deviation in the angle. Okay, but if the sample is present in the sample solution, okay, the same plane polarized light, that is ppl, is rotated, okay, diverted from its original plane and gives the new angle, okay, that is rotated in a right angle. Okay, so this is due to the sucrose, okay, in this case. But if you have the mixture of glucose and fructose, okay, this angle will be rotated, this plane polar ppl light will be rotated to the left side. Okay, so that is only because of fructose and glucose mixture. Okay, so such a angle of rotation is recorded at a regular time interval during the course of the reaction. Okay, now if you see, now the alpha 0 will be the angle of rotation, okay, at the beginning, that is a t0. Okay, now this will be the before starting means at the start of the reaction. Okay, the angle will be the 0 angle of rotation. Okay, now at time t, after some time t, the angle of rotation will be the alpha t. Okay, to some extent the rotation is starts to appear. Okay, now the reaction will be completed at some point, that is at time t, that is given by the t alpha, small t alpha. Okay, the angle of rotation will be counted as a alpha infinity. Okay, so from this we can see we can say that the initial concentration of the sucrose, that is given by the small a, is in terms of angle of rotation is given as a alpha 0 minus alpha infinity. Okay, and the concentration of the sucrose hydrolyzed at time t, okay, that is x, is nothing but alpha 0 minus alpha t. So these are the terms we have here, the x and a. Now from this, the value of x and a, we can calculate the value of a minus x. So just put the value of corresponding a and x, we will get this one, alpha t minus alpha infinity. Okay, just from here, after putting the values of a and x, if you calculate, just alpha 0 will get cancelled, and we will get such type of value. Now if you apply the if you consider the first integrated rate equation, first order integrated rate equation, okay, so that is k equal to 2.303 upon t log of a upon a minus x. Just put the value of the variables a and a minus x, so we will get such type of the value, okay, or equation, that is k equal to 2.303 upon t into log of alpha 0 minus alpha infinity divided by alpha t minus alpha infinity. So in this way we can calculate the rate constant of acid catalyzer inversion of a cane sugar, or that is sucrose. So this example is comes under the physical method, okay, as you, if you remember the first lecture, okay, where the two methods were there. In earlier case we have seen the volumetric method, okay, now this is a physical method, that is by recording the angle of rotation, okay. So these are the examples of pseudo order reactions where the rate constant can be calculated in this way, okay. Now let's see the methods of determination of order of reactions. Now here there are 5 different methods is there, okay. The first one is the graphical method, the second one is integration method, half time, differential, and Ostwald's isolation. Now here we have now today only we will see the two method, that is the graphical method and integration method. Let's start one by one. In graphical method, for any given reaction by experiment, okay, from a reaction we obtain the values of x, a, and a minus x, okay. They are the initial concentration of the reactant, amount of converted into the product at time t, and the concentration of the reactant at time t, okay. So these are the different values, okay, which are obtained experimentally during the course of the reaction, okay. From these values we can plot the graphs, okay, the two different graphs for n equal to 1, two graphs are there, okay. The first one is the first one is the equation of the line, okay. From this graph we get the graph which passing through the origin, okay. And second one is from this second one is the equation of the line which intersect on y-axis at some point, okay. So this is these are the graphs for first order reaction. Now let's see the for second order reaction. For second order, okay, the two graphs are there. The first graph is the equation of the straight line passing through the origin, okay. And second one is a straight line not passing through the origin but intersect somewhere on y-axis, okay, and having the slope like this, okay. So these are the two different graphs for second order reaction. From this graph we can calculate this order of a reaction, okay, by the graph, okay. So the graphical method is widely used to confirm the order of reaction, okay. That is a pair of graphs which give the straight line indicates the order of the reaction, okay, as you seen the earlier. Now if generalize this graph, okay, or this method, we can say if n is the order of reaction, the plot of the plot of 1 upon a minus x raised to n minus 1 versus time will be the straight line, okay, with a slope n minus 1 into k, that is the slope, okay, and intercept at some point that is given by the a upon a raised to n minus 1, okay. From this the slope can be calculated, slope k can be calculated, okay. From that we can see the order of reaction. So this is a graphical method from which you can calculate the order of a reaction. Okay, now let's see the another method, that is a integration method. Now here in integration method again, uh, we obtain the values or obtained value, that is from experimental, that is a x, a minus x. Okay, they are obtained from experimental values and they are substituted in integrated rate equations of first order and second order. Okay, now here the two equations, that is integrated rate equations for second order for second order and first order are given here. Okay, now these values obtained, they are substituted in these uh, two equations separately. Okay, and the value of for each value, for each set of value, the for each set of these variables, okay, the k, the constant is calculated. Okay, and they are compared for both equation, for both order of reactions. Okay, if the correct expression, okay, the correct expression for that rate equation is 1, okay, which gives the rate constant, which gives the constant values of the rate constants. Okay, that means if you have the different values for both, okay, can for n equal to 1 and n equal to 2. Okay, for that, if you see for n equal to 1, the rate constant values are same, and for say n equal to 2, the rate constant values are different. In that case, the that reaction belongs to the first order reaction. Okay, because the rate constant values are constant. Okay, so here we understand by taking one example. Here again we have taken the inversion of a sugarcane. Okay, that is sucrose. The here the problem is the initial concentration of the sucrose. Okay, that is small a is given, that is 1.0023 mole per dm cube. Okay, and find the order of the reaction by the integration method. Now here the different the data is given here. Okay, that is the time in seconds and sucrose inverted in mole per dm cube. Okay, so these are the value. Now if you see by mistake it is a minus x, actually it is only the x. Okay, the value of the x is given in this table. Okay, and at a particular time. Now we have to put these values, that is a value of a. Okay, here the value of a, then value of these x values. Okay, in the above two equations separately. Okay, now here we have taken the two columns. In first column the order as first order is taken. Okay, that is n equal to 1, which is given the k is given in unit as per second. Okay, now in the second column the n equal to 2. Okay, and k is given in the value of k is given in per dm sorry dm cube per mole per second. Okay, this is the unit, right? Now here by I have taken one example, one for calculation I have taken one example, that is one set. Okay, now here this is a for k equal to, for n equal to 1, that is a first order reaction. Okay, so this is a rate equation, integrated rate equation for the first order, that is k equal to 2.303 upon t into log of a minus a upon a minus x. Just put the value of a here, we have put substituted. Okay, now here a minus x is nothing but the just subtract this value 1 minus 0.00123 minus this one 0.11 0.1001. Okay, so we will get this one 0.9022. okay, if you solve this equation, okay, or solve the ratio, so we will get the log of 1.1109. okay, again, so here we have substituted the value of t, that is 1800 seconds. Okay, here, so we will get such type of value. So after taking log of this 1.1109, we will get this one 0.0457. Okay, but after multiplying these two factors, we will get this one, the k equal to 5.85, okay, into 10 to the power minus 5 per second. Okay, so in this way we can calculate the for different values, okay, for a different set of values. So it is found that the all the values for first order reaction uh, are constants. Okay, the k values are supposed to be constant. Okay, now here see the first value is 5.84 or 5.85. Okay, then 5.99, 5.99, 5.96, 5.96, okay, into 10 to the power minus 5 per second. For a second order reaction, it is found that these values, okay, so 6.14, 6.66. Okay, so lot of variables are there in the k values for the second order reaction. That's why the order of this reaction or given set of values are found to be the first order reaction, because the first order the constant way k values are found. Okay, so in this way we can calculate the order of reaction by integration method. So order of the values for k for first order reactions are almost k are almost constant. So this is a method where you can calculate the order of reaction by integration method. So here we have completed the two methods, okay, the graphical method and the integration method. Now in the next lecture we will see the half time differential method and Ostwald isolation methods. So students, we have completed this lecture. Okay, just remind once again the what we have seen so far. In first few lectures we have seen the first order reaction, integrated rate equation, kinetic characteristics. Okay, again the second order reaction, integrated rate equation and its kinetic characteristics. Now here today we have seen the pseudo first order reaction and a few examples. Okay, and we have seen the how the rate of or rate constant or order of reaction can be calculated for a pseudo first order reactions by taking the two example, volumetric method and sorry, that is chemical method and physical method. Now next the integrated method or integration method. Okay, integration method, and the last one is the graphical method. Okay, so these are the points which are covered today. See you in next lecture. Thank you.